All right, yo, I'm here with one of my favorite people, Foggieraw Bay. We're doing this exclusive for the Patreon. I don't even know if I'm going to put this on YouTube. I may or may not put it on YouTube. Shout out to my man T-Ross the Giant for holding me down. Foggieraw in the house, Southern California. Man, I wanted to talk about two things that you've always done.
Yeah.
You've always been intentional about investing in yourself.
Yeah.
Ever since I met you, I think I met you, and a month later you flew yourself to Cali and spent like a week and a half with us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Tell me that like fearless, and then it's not like you was making a gang of bread.
No, I was making no money.
But there was a correlation where around the time it seemed like you really started investing in yourself, the money started to kind of increase and your clout started increasing.
Yeah.
Tell me like that fearlessness you have and why that is. Because there's a lot of artists that are patrons that like need that why, that deeper why, because cats be scared with money. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you so fearless in that regard?
Because I believe that, you know, with the art I make, if people get to hear it, they're going to like it. And I just had that kind of belief in myself. So I believe, okay, well, if I have to pay X amount of money, it's all an investment. That's just going to get returned to me when people hear my music and they can support it that way. So I feel like if you truly believe in your music and yourself, you have to invest in yourself, or you shouldn't be scared to.
But you was making a strategic investment.
True. Not dumb investments.
Of the like investing in being in proximity with people that were doing similar things.
Fact.
Different than just like, I need to spend $500 on this beat. I need to spend
on this album cover.
on this album cover. I need to spend $300 on this mix.
Facts,
right?
Facts.
Like you till this day you don't really have your music mixed like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you consist, like I see, like you're in Cali like a couple through 4 times a year. I feel like you're out here all the time. You know what I'm saying? You move around a lot. And why the proximity? Like why is it? Because you're trying to catch a vibe? Is it because you're trying to network and build relationships? I hate that word, network.
Networking, yeah.
Well, why I'm gonna be around creative people, and that's in like investing in that.
Okay. So I personally know when you're in proximity to people who are doing good stuff is just gonna happen to you. For instance, so my boy Eric, we had the song Porzingis, Look Like Porzingis. So that song really just came about because we were just together every day talking, chilling. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? All of a sudden, he just makes the beat, and then that's like one of my biggest songs I ever did. So it's just like,
shout out to T-Ross the Giant for shooting that music video.
Shout out my boy T-Ross the Giant. If he wasn't there, we wouldn't have made it. I would have just made the song with someone else, and it's just like boom. But because we were in proximity, that happened. Another example, Andy Mineo, when we did this song Coquito, Andy was like, oh, yo, let's work one day. He just threw that in the air. So one day I was in Atlanta, and then Andy was like, yo, I'm about to go to Nashville. So I'm like, yo, how far is Nashville? It's like 8 hours. Let's drive there. So I was like, bet, let's drive. We drove. And then he was like, oh, you right here? Let's make a song right now. And then we just made it. But if I wasn't there,
for you,
he wouldn't have made the song. So it's just like proximity always is going to open the door for good things to happen to you.
That's good. Another thing that I love about this, and Cass keep hitting me up. Yo, how do you get your Spotify streams up? How do you get your Spotify streams up? How you get more people to check for your music? And I keep pointing people back to what I believe is like the Foggieraw model. You know what I'm saying? Which is, I tell people, look, what you want to do is you want to create a Spotify pre-save campaign, Apple Music pre-save campaign, and just ask everybody to pre-save your song. Yeah. And if you're just starting out, you don't have a lot of followers, that's actually working in your favor. You have 100 followers, but you get 1,000 plays that first day. That's going to set off bells in their algorithm. So ask all your friends. Like literally text all your friends. Ask all your friends. Grab people's phone from them. Yo, pre-save this joint. Listen to it when it comes out, right? Like not being afraid to. And I said if you do that and you post it on social, but you do it in real life, it'll actually work and you get playlisted. We saw this happen with Shua, who is John Keith's older brother. He had a song come out. He had like 70 followers on on Spotify. That joint dropped. It got 1,000 plays first day. Boom, got added to a bunch of playlists. Hundreds of thousands of streams. You know what I'm saying? T-Ross the Giant just dropped a dope song called Big Stuff. Y'all should go peep that if you haven't. Dropped it, shared it, created a campaign, dope photos on Instagram, dressed fly, like the whole bit. Boom. Spotify campaign, got playlisted, got hundreds of thousands of plays. You know what I'm saying? Like that is I call that the Foggieraw model because as long as I've known you, you've oh, this is in the SoundCloud era, but you'd always hit me like, hey man, I'm dropping at 5. I need you to repost. I need you to repost. I need you to repost. Like, you were always fearless about that.
Yeah.
And you made it personal. You would ask cats in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just made it personal.
Yeah.
Break that down.
Yeah. So what I would do is I felt like, okay, if I know you and I have a true understanding of there's a mutual respect for my music, right? Then it's like, okay, I kind of need your help because I'm not some kind of big guy. I can't call in a favor at Complex or anything. So I'm like, yo, could you do it? Could you do it? And not just like your pop and rapper friends, but you know, your little friends around the neighborhood, because everybody is an influencer to some degree.
That's a fact.
So it's like, okay, get my little brother. Tell my little brother's friends. Before you know it, all my little brother's friends are listening. Now they're telling their friends, and then 1 turned to 2, then 2 turned to 4, 4, 6. Before you know it, you got like 10,000 fans if you keep making good, consistent music. So
all this is with that caveat of making good and consistent music. Just so we're clear. Like, if the product is whack,
it's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work. Yeah.
How you know if your product is good?
If people keep sharing it.
If people share it. If they're sharing it, that's an indicator that it's good. If you're asking and they're not sharing it, they'll listen to it, but they won't share it, means it's probably, you probably got to go back to the drawing board. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you, because you're confident in your product, you're then unapologetic and unafraid to ask people to share it. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, facts.
Okay, so to wrap it up, what's like one thing that the dude that's sitting there watching this right now, he's just starting out, he has 1,000 Instagram followers or less.
Right.
What would be the one thing outside of make dope music?
Yeah.
Because we know that, like, you have to make dope music.
That's where it starts.
That's where it starts. Like, it starts making dope music. What would you say? What one piece of advice you would give him?
And he hasn't put any music out?
Maybe he has put a little bit out.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Or maybe he hasn't. Maybe he's just like starting like a couple songs out here and there. You know what I'm saying?
I say right now, everything is going visual. So a lot of times, I think in today's market, you know, you got to put out a good, compelling visual. So if you can make one good song, do a good video. It doesn't have to be expensive. Just a creative video. You really show your personality, all that stuff. Make that, and then share it to the world. Share it to your friends. Share it to any blog you can share it to. Share it to any classmate, any person at this gym, any da-da-da. Like, really be pressed. Be thirsty with it. Not like a spam way, but just, yo, da-da-da-da. And before you know it, 1 person share it, 2 person share it, 3 person share it, and it's gone. And if it's not good, hey, you know, okay, you know, maybe I'll go back and do another one and do the same thing again.
That's good. You've done a lot of things right. You've done a lot of things like.
I've also done a lot of things wrong.
So that was gonna be my next question. Because we talk about this, and I get the calls like, "Hey man, I'm in this situation." Could you open up and kind of share some of the mistakes you've made along the journey?
Yes. So some of the mistakes I've made is I stole a lot of beats. I stole a lot of beats.
Just straight ripping stuff off SoundCloud.
But now I would say this: I didn't have the intention to steal it and never pay for it.
Because it's kind of SoundCloud culture as well, though.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Like low key.
Mind you, when I first met you and I was getting plays, I wasn't making money from SoundCloud. So I kind of was ushered in a lot by you into the streaming culture of making money. So it kind of rushed up on me making money. So yes, I stole a lot of beats. That's not the wave.
So you stole beats.
Yes.
What was the consequences of that? What are some of the practical consequences?
So, you know, a lot of producers tried to, like, the song's got 2 million, 3 million plays later. They're like, oh, yeah, you need to give us $10,000, $5,000, this much percentage. Yeah, it got really crazy. So a lot of disputes, a lot of, like, legal stuff. So, yeah, that's not the wave. Like, you know, definitely you want to. Well, I mean, to be honest, if you want my honest opinion, if you starting out, I still say don't care. Go for it and steal some. Now, if they try to come get you and say pay for it, you know.
Pay for it.
Yeah, pay for it.
Take care
and I do that. You know, when they come at me, I'm going to pay for it. And then when you get to a position where, okay, I have my fans, we sharing it, whoop, then transition out of that stuff and start having arrangements with the producers, working with your homies who are producers, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I think working in community, working with your homies is probably going to be one of the biggest advantages you have, because y'all could actually own that music together,
facts.
And not with some random dude
Facts.
in a basement in Kentucky who made a fly beat and threw it on SoundCloud. You don't know this guy, you know what I'm saying? And then the tricky part is everything looks bigger on social media. So you got a song or you got Instagram followers or whatever, cats will look at that and be like, oh man, he's popping, he's lit. I need $1,000 for this beat. Not understanding that like that song hasn't generated $1,000 yet. You know what I'm saying? Like that might be an album cut.
Yeah,
It could have generated $300-400 in streams,
Exactly.
but because it got 100,000, 200,000 Spotify streams, people was thinking, oh well, yeah. You know what I mean? So that's another thing. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. What, like, any other tips? Any advice?
Yeah, tips. Damn, what I mean, one thing I always try to stress to all my artist friends, like, you got just put mad hours into your craft of music, because I feel like that's not done. Don't be like these guys lying, buying followers and plays. Don't do that, man. Be honest, have integrity, and be content with who you are, who God made you to be, and what God has given you.
It's good. Talk about the value of visual aesthetic, because you've been intentional about wearing kind of more colorful colors, wearing cooler pieces, you know what I'm saying? From everything from like thrifting and like connecting with local clothing brands. We talk a lot about clothes, I feel like, off the record. Like tell me how important that is.
Oh, I mean,
that's everything.
In
now,
2019, visual is everything.
Yeah.
Because like a song is just, me and Eric even, we say this thing like, if you put out a song and it's really dope until it's over, and then it doesn't exist anymore. It's just an old song. But once you have a video, it lives on forever. It's just like this piece of art. So
people will come back and watch videos.
100%. And you probably know this. Your songs or videos probably have like the most plays. Yeah, because it's like it keeps living. It keeps living. So visuals is everything. I feel like you want to communicate who you are through the visual. So for me, you know, I feel like I have a colorful personality that comes out of my lyrics.
That's
so
good.
I'm gonna be wearing colorful clothes. This is how I like to dress.
That's good.
You know, if you like a more, you know,
Sure.
dark, you know, introverted person,
Yep.
maybe you don't do that,
Yep.
and then you just got to communicate yourself visually.
That's good.
Very important.
That's good, man. Yo, y'all make sure y'all following Foggieraw.
Yeah, man.
Want to make sure we're getting y'all this good information.
Listen to my album.
Yeah, listen to the music, because the music is actually really cool. I think you balance this, you know, and not because like Cray said this, and not to like compare, but like this interesting thing of like, it's righteous but it's ratchet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's cool. Like I feel cool when I listen to your music. You know what I'm saying? We talked about proximity. We talked about relationships. We talked about not being afraid. Hopefully that's some practical stuff you could apply to your own music. The second thing is, man, consider hopping in this remix contest if you're not in it. You guys are patrons.
Let me tell y'all right now, I've seen people go far from entering that remix contest, and that would be an example of investing in yourself. If you feel like you got what it takes, do a remix, impress Ruslan, who's later going to show me, and then I'm later going to show so-and-so, and then
it spreads like that. If you got that work, you think you're good enough, invest in yourselves however you can invest. Because that could turn into a, hey, man, like, you didn't win the contest, but, like, I'll split your flight with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, come out. Just come out, spend a week with us. Like, that stuff happens. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, man, thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Foggieraw.
Yes, sir.
All platforms. Y'all stay tuned. Peace.
All right.